You bought into the dream. You spent a whole weekend wiring up some AI automation that was supposed to run your business while you slept. And on Monday, you spent 2 hours fixing what it broke. Here's the truth: nobody selling you a course wants to say out loud. AI automation sounds like magic, but most setups burn more time than they save. The boring stuff works, the flashy stuff fails, and if you're choosing between Make and Zapier to get started, the honest answer is simple. Zapier is the easier on-ramp for normal people and simple one-step jobs. Make is cheaper and far more powerful once your workflow gets complicated, and neither one fixes a process that's already a mess. Quick thing before we get into it. This video is sponsored by NBC Canada Inc., and they fixed the bookkeeping mess that's quietly choking a lot of trades and construction businesses, so the owner can finally see their numbers and actually control their cash instead of flying blind. They put together a free trades bookkeeping scorecard that shows you how much money your business is probably losing right now, and the link is the first thing in the description. Go grab it, it costs nothing. Okay, by the end of this, you'll know exactly which tool to start with, which automations are worth building, and which ones are a trap that'll have you babysitting a robot. Stick around, because the part that actually saves you time is not the part everyone shows off on social media. Let's get the basics down in plain English first. Both Make and Zapier are connectors. They sit in the middle of all your apps and pass information between them automatically, so you stop being the human who copies a thing from one place and pastes it into another. A trigger is the thing that starts the automation. A new email lands, a form gets filled out, a payment comes in, and action is what happens next. Add a row to a spreadsheet, send a text, create an invoice. You're basically writing a sentence. When this happens, do that. String a few of those together and you've got a workflow that runs without you touching it. Now, where does AI come in? You can drop an AI step right into the middle of one of these. So a customer message comes in, the AI reads it and sorts it, and then the right thing happens. That's the dream people are selling. And it can be real. But the difference between a setup that saves you 10 hours a month and one that creates a new part-time job for you is entirely about what you choose to automate. We'll get there. Zapier's whole personality is easy. If you've never built an automation in your life, this is the gentler door to walk through. You pick your trigger app, you pick your action app, you connect them in a few clicks, and you're running. Here's a real example you could build today. A new lead fills out the contact form on your site. Zapier catches that, adds them to your email list, drops their details into a spreadsheet, and pings you in your team chat so you know to follow up. That whole thing is maybe a 5-step setup and it runs forever. No more leads slipping through the cracks because you were on a job site. The other thing Zapier nails is the sheer number of apps it talks to. If you use some niche tool for your specific trade or industry, the odds it already connects are pretty good. That matters more than people think, because the most common reason an automation never gets built is that one of your apps wasn't supported. So who is Zapier actually for? It's for the person who wants 1 or 2 simple automations done, doesn't want to learn anything technical, and would rather pay a little more to never look at a settings screen again. That's a totally valid choice. But here's the catch that bites people later. The moment your workflow gets even a little complicated, the price and the limits start to squeeze. Zapier tends to charge based on how many tasks run, and a busy automation eats those tasks fast. The thing that felt cheap when you ran it 10 times a week feels very different when it's running 10 times an hour, which is exactly where the other tool walks in. Make is built for people who want to see the whole machine. Instead of a simple this then that list, you get a visual canvas where you drag bubbles around and draw the connections yourself. It looks more intimidating on day 1. It pays you back on day 30. The big win is handling complicated logic without losing your mind. Say a customer order comes in. If it's over a certain size, route it to your account manager. If it's a repeat customer, skip the welcome email. If it's from a new region, flag it for tax. Make lets you build all those branches visually in one workflow and watch the data flow through each step. The other quiet advantage is cost at volume. Make tends to price around operations in a way that usually stretches further once you're running a lot of steps. I'm not going to throw a number at you because these plans change and you should check the current pricing yourself before you commit. But the pattern is consistent. Simple and low volume, Zapier feels fine. Complex and high volume, Make usually wins on the bill. Make also gives you more control over the messy middle of a workflow. When data comes in ugly, and it always comes in ugly, you can clean it, reshape it, split it, and merge it inside the same canvas. That's the kind of thing that turns a flaky automation into one you actually trust. So who's Make for? The owner who's a little technical or willing to spend a weekend learning, And who knows, their automations are going to grow. The downside is real though. The learning curve is steeper, and when something breaks, you're the one staring at a canvas trying to figure out which bubble lied to you. And things do break, which brings us to the part everyone skips. Here's where I want to be very honest with you, because this is the whole point of the video. AI inside these tools is genuinely useful in a narrow set of jobs and oversold in almost everything else. Where it shines is reading messy text and sorting it. A pile of incoming emails or form messages comes in, and the AI reads each one and decides. This is a refund request, this is a sales lead, this is spam, then the automation routes it to the right place. That's real-time saved because sorting is boring, constant, and exactly the kind of judgment a human shouldn't be spending their morning on. It's also good at drafting, turning a few bullet points into a first draft reply, summarizing a long thread into 3 lines, pulling the key details out of an attachment. Notice the word draft. A human still glances at it before it goes out. That review step is not a weakness. It's the thing that keeps the whole system from embarrassing you. Now where AI struggles. Anything that has to be exactly right every single time. Numbers that have to add up. A legal detail, a price quote a customer will hold you to. The AI is confident even when it's wrong, and confident and wrong is the most expensive combination in your business. If a mistake there costs you money or trust, that's not a job to hand a robot without a human checking the work. The reframe I want you to keep is this: AI is a fast, slightly unreliable assistant. It's brilliant for the first 90% of a boring task and dangerous for the last 10% that has to be perfect. Build around that and you win. Forget it and you'll be cleaning up after your own automation. Let me say the unsexy thing plainly: the automations that actually save small business owners time are the boring ones. Email routing, data entry, moving a record from one app to another so you never type it twice. Reminders that fire on their own. None of it would get a single view as a flashy demo, and all of it quietly gives you your evenings back. Here's a concrete one. Every time you get a new customer, their info has to land in 3 places: your accounting tool, your customer list, and your calendar for the kickoff call. Doing that by hand takes a few minutes and your full attention, and you forget one of the 3 about a quarter of the time. Automate it once, and it's perfect forever. No AI required at all. Compare that to the flashy version people chase. A fully autonomous AI agent that supposedly runs your whole inbox, talks to customers, and closes deals on its own. That demo looks incredible for about 40 seconds. In real life, it goes off the rails, says something weird to a real customer, and now you're reading every message it sends anyway, which is the exact job you were trying to get rid of. The pattern is dead simple. The more steps that have to be exactly right and the less a human is checking, the more likely the flashy automation is to cost you more than it saves. The fewer the steps and the more boring the job, the bigger the actual return. So, how do you actually start without wasting a weekend? You don't open the tool first, you open a notepad. Write down every repetitive task you did this week that made you think, a computer should be doing this. That list is your real roadmap, not whatever a tutorial tells you to build. Then pick the single most annoying one that's also simple. One trigger, 1 or 2 actions, nothing that has to be perfect. Build that one. Get it running. Trust it for a week. That first win is what teaches you the tool, and it's small enough that if it breaks, nothing bad happens. Only after that do you reach for AI, and only for sorting or drafting with a human still glancing at the output. And only when your workflows get genuinely complex with branches and high volume do you think about graduating from the easy tool to the powerful one. Most people do this in the exact wrong order. They start with the hardest, flashiest thing and quit when it breaks. A few traps to dodge, because I've seen the same ones over and over. First, automating a broken process. If your customer follow-up is a disaster done by hand, automating it just makes the disaster happen faster and more reliably. Fix the process, then automate it. Second, no error alerts. Your automation will fail one day, quietly in the background. If you don't set up a simple notification for when it breaks, you'll find out 3 weeks later when a customer asks why nobody called them. Both tools can ping you when something fails. Turn that on the day you build it. Third, trusting AI output blindly because the demo was clean. The demo always works. Tuesday afternoon with weird real-world data is the test. Keep a human in the loop on anything that touches money, contracts, or your reputation, and let the robot handle the boring sorting underneath, so you've got the full picture now. Zapier for an easy start and simple jobs. Make for power and better cost once things get complex. AI for sorting and drafting, never for the final word on anything that has to be exact. And the real money is in the boring automations, not the flashy ones. The one thing left is the call you actually have to make for your own business. Which of these is worth your time, and whether this whole category is even where a busy owner should be spending a weekend right now. Make versus Zapier. I think they're both dead. You can build webhooks and automations with Claude Code. You rarely ever need to use Make or Zapier unless you're dealing with an enterprise software that does not have an open API, and all they have are integrations with Zapier and Make, which would be a very niche thing to have. You'd have to deal with big software enterprises, but most general CRMs, client management systems, and software to organize all your tools, all these nowadays, even QuickBooks, have an open API that you can automate through with Claude Code and VS Code. If you have the right system and you know how to use AI, you do not need Make or Zapier. My take is that Make and Zapier are great if you don't actually know what you're doing with automations. You can learn them, but mostly you do not need Make versus Zapier. You do not need Make or Zapier. All you need is Claude Code in Visual Studio Code, and you can do absolutely everything Make versus Zapier can. Heck, you could build a Zapier, you could build a Make with AI these days. I would say simple automation is great. Go for it if that's all you know, but if you want to dive deeper into automations, you go with Claude Code. Here's the simple rule to walk away with. Start with Zapier if you just want one or two boring things off your plate and you never want to think about it again. Move to Make when your workflows get tangled or your task count gets expensive. Use AI only as a fast assistant for sorting and rough drafts with your eyes on the result, and chase the dull automations over the dazzling ones every single time. Do that and AI automation finally does what it promised. It quietly hands you back hours instead of inventing new problems for you to solve on a Monday morning. If this saved you a weekend, subscribe, because I break down AI tools in plain English for people who run real businesses and don't have time for the hype. Tell me in the comments which tool you want me to pull apart next. And a real thanks to NBC Canada Inc. for backing this one. If your trades or construction books are a mess and you're tired of flying blind, grab their free bookkeeping scorecard at the link below and see how much your business is actually losing. It costs you nothing to find out.